The legal profession has a complicated relationship with growth. On one hand, the law itself is constantly evolving, with new statutes, fresh appellate decisions, shifting regulatory priorities, and emerging technology that reshapes how lawyers practice every year. On the other hand, the culture of law school and legal practice often rewards being right, looking polished, and projecting confidence, even when you are still figuring it out. That tension is exactly why a growth mindset matters so much in this field. If you are a law student, a recent graduate, or an attorney in your first decade of practice, the way you think about your own development will shape your career far more than your class rank or your law school's name. Lawyers who treat their skills as fixed tend to plateau. Lawyers who treat their skills as something to keep building tend to thrive, even when the market changes around them. Here is what a growth mindset actually looks like in legal practice, and why it has become essential. The phrase growth mindset gets thrown around so often that it has started to lose meaning. In a legal context, it comes down to a few specific habits. You see feedback as information, not as a verdict on your worth. When a partner marks up your brief, you study the edits instead of internalizing the embarrassment. When a judge cuts you off at oral argument, you walk out asking what you could have done differently rather than spiraling about how it went. You assume your current skill level is a starting point, not a ceiling. The third-year associate who still cannot run a deposition smoothly is not failing. They are exactly where most third-year associates are. And the ones who get noticeably better in year 4 are usually the ones who decided to study what good depositions look like. You separate your identity from any single performance. You can lose a motion, miss an issue, or write a clunky paragraph without concluding that you are bad at being a lawyer. The work is the work. You are not the work. Lawyers with a fixed mindset, by contrast, often avoid challenges that might expose what they do not know yet. They stick to the practice areas where they already feel competent, dodge unfamiliar assignments, and treat every mistake as evidence that they do not belong. That instinct is understandable, especially in a profession built on credentials, but it quietly shrinks careers. A few years ago, you could build a comfortable career by getting good at one thing and staying there. That path still exists, but it is narrower than it used to be. California attorneys are practicing in an environment where artificial intelligence tools are reshaping document review, contract analysis, and legal research. Client expectations around speed, transparency, and pricing keep climbing. Specialty credit requirements, ethics rules, and competence standards continue to evolve. Practice areas that did not exist 20 years ago, such as cannabis law and privacy compliance, are now full-time careers. You cannot coast through any of that. The lawyers who adapt are the ones who stay curious about what is coming next, not the ones who insist that their original training is enough. This is also why mentorship culture in law has shifted. Senior attorneys increasingly look for associates who ask thoughtful questions, take notes, and come back with better drafts the second time around. They are not impressed by associates who pretend to already know everything. They are impressed by associates who learn quickly. Growth mindset is not a personality trait. It is a set of practices you can choose, and the lawyers who do this well tend to build a few specific habits early. Get specific about what you are working on. Becoming a better lawyer is too vague to act on. Learning to take a clean deposition, drafting tighter motions in limine, or getting comfortable with a new practice area is something you can actually pursue. Pick 1 or 2 skills per quarter and build deliberately. Treat every assignment as a chance to learn something. Even tasks that feel beneath you usually contain something worth absorbing. The discovery review you are dreading might teach you how documents reveal a case theory. The client intake you are rushing through might teach you how to read what a client is not saying. Find people who are honest with you. Mentors who only tell you that you are doing great are not really mentors. Look for the partners, professors, and senior colleagues who will tell you when something missed the mark and stay close to them. Build a learning routine that does not depend on motivation. The lawyers who keep growing do not wait until they feel inspired. They schedule it. They block time for reading new cases in their practice area, working through a CLE program, or sitting in on hearings outside their specialty. Consistency beats intensity. Get comfortable being a beginner again. Every time you take on a new practice area, a new role, or a new tool, you are starting over. That feeling never fully goes away in a legal career, and the lawyers who lean into it have a real advantage over the ones who avoid it. For California attorneys, MCLE is sometimes treated as a box to check before the compliance deadline hits. That is a missed opportunity. The 25 hours every 3 years can be a serious engine for development if you treat them as one. CEB has been part of California's legal community for more than 75 years, and our MCLE programs are designed to do more than satisfy state bar requirements. With over 900 hours of California-specific, expert-led content covering everything from emerging AI policy issues to deposition strategy, civility, ethics, and elimination of bias, our library gives attorneys a way to actively expand their practice rather than passively log hours. Whether you are using the CLE Passport for unlimited annual access, working through a compliance package, or picking up specific courses through Course Pass, the goal is the same. Turn the time you are already required to spend on continuing education into time that genuinely makes you a better lawyer. If you are early in your career, this is one of the most cost-effective ways to broaden your exposure to practice areas you have not yet worked in. If you are further along, it is a way to stay sharp on the issues your clients are starting to ask about. Most legal careers last 40 years or more. The skills, technology, and even the substantive law you rely on at year 5 will look very different by year 25. That is not a threat. It is the actual job. The lawyers who build sustainable, satisfying careers tend to share one trait that has nothing to do with where they went to school or which firm they started at. They keep getting better. They take feedback seriously. They stay curious about the parts of the profession they have not mastered yet. They treat every new assignment, every new client, and every new statute as a chance to grow. A growth mindset is not a soft skill. In a profession this demanding, it is one of the most practical advantages you can have. Want to put a growth mindset into practice? Explore CEB's MCLE programs for California-specific, expert-led courses designed to help attorneys at every career stage expand their skills, meet state bar requirements, and stay ahead of changes in the law.